Let us be your soundtrack to the holidays.
Your parents may not be ready for a nursing home but need a little daily assistance. Skyline Suites is the perfect place for them to call home. Skyline Suites is the place where you feel part of our family. Enjoy exceptional amenities and furnishings, all while surrounded by the peaceful tranquility of quiet country living. Residents get daily assistance with showering, dressing, mobility, and all meals home cooked and prepared. Plus, there's a day spa, hair salon, and an activity center, Wi Fi, and beautifully decorated rooms. You'll also have access to the local Senior Citizens Center and YMCA. Call Ryan Buchanan or Trent Nichols at 812-320-3761 for a tour today.
See Celebrity Home Loans in Salem, where everyone gets treated like a star. Come experience the star treatment with us. You'll never go back to the ordinary home loan experience again. Stop in today and see Dennis Baxter, branch manager of the Salem office, to start working on a new home loan or refinancing today. They've served nearly 50,000 families with over $15 billion in loans. Stop in and see Dennis and his staff. They're ready to work with you today. As a star, you expect the best, and that's all Celebrity Home Loans has to offer. Nothing off the rack. We're talking fine living, designer fashion home loans around here. Come by today and see Dennis or Autumn at 18 Public Square, Suite A, or call for an appointment. 812-883-0670. Remember, at Celebrity Home Loans, you're the star.
All right. It is a very special day today. It is a terrific Tuesday. And my partner in crime is Greg with me. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning. It's a cold Tuesday, too.
It is, but we got some beautiful sunshine coming in the window. And by phone, we do have Coach Gary Duncan with us. Good morning, Coach.
How you doing, man?
Fantastic. Wonderful. So glad. And, of course, we got big, exciting adventure coming up. When you were the regional championship coach for the Salem Lions from 1970 to 71.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, first of all, tell us a little about yourself, Coach.
Well, I graduated from Oak City College in 1967, and like I tell everybody, it's not what you know, it's who you know. I got my first job at West Washington High School as assistant basketball, assistant head track coach, assistant baseball, assistant football. And I knew the president of that school board, Dr. Tyre, and got that job. And then from there, Joe Geely, who was the principal at West Washington, moved to Salem and asked me to come to Salem. And so I ended up in Salem as a head track coach and a assistant football coach under Paul Jolly. And so that's kind of where I ended up. And then it just so happened that we ended up winning a regional in Huntingburg. And it so happened that the basketball coach at the New Southridge Consolidation, which is Huntingburg and Holland, was Joe Todrank, and the principal was Ray Rachner. And I'd done my student teaching under Ray Rachner. I knew Joe Todrank, having played at Old City College. He's an Indiana basketball Hall of Fame. And so I got that job. And so I stayed there for 5 years as assistant, and then got the varsity coach in 1970.
So this was your first. So you won your first year as varsity coach.
I was at the age of 26. I was lucky enough to inherit a good group of kids from Salem, and I got to get Larry Turpin, a coach that is now deceased, had these boys the previous years, and I did inherit a good group of kids that had a lot of experience.
So when you took the job and you started practicing and seeing them, did you know that the talent was there? Did you know that you would go this far, or thought you might?
Well, no, I had no anticipation that we would end up where we ended up, but I knew there was some talent out there. The kids were, they had physical ability. They were fundamentally, they were pretty sound, and things just fell in place. I tell you what, when I got a call from Jim Plump the other day that might be interviewed, I dug out my old scrapbook, and we won every close game there was that year. I mean, we was in overtime games, double overtime games. We won several 2-point games, won a holiday tournament in an overtime game, and it's just a credit to these kids that they was able to play that well under pressure.
Well, don't sell yourself short too. That you had to do some good coaching there.
I can't hear him, man.
I said you had to do some good coaching along with those players.
Well, we just tried to work on teamwork or defense. We wasn't very big. We were 6'1", 6'2", and we had two fine forwards, and the two kids were Martin and Mitchell, and they were excellent jumpers. We had Spalding and Jim Pugh that played center for us that also played their roles very well. And we had some outstanding guards in Billy House and Larry Perlee. Larry Perlee was our point guard, and House was our shooting guard. And we only had averaged about 10 or 12 turnovers a game, which is exceptionally good. And that was another good reason why we was able to win so many ball games.
Awesome. So back then they didn't have the class tournaments like they have now. So how did that work? How did that work for you?
Well, we played in our sectional, of course. We played North Harrison. And that was our third time playing them. They were led by an excellent guard, Ron Smith, and we ended up beating them 3 times. That was in one class. Cord was in our sectional. We ended up playing them twice. We split with them the regular season, and we beat them in the holiday tournament. In a sectional, a double overtime. And of course, West Washington. Unlike the one class system, it was very, very good for us. It gives you a lot of credibility when you win in that system. And but the class system, of course, has become the dominant thing, and it has helped a lot of little schools get a lot of recognition.
Now, was Ron as good a basketball player as he became a cook?
Ron was an excellent basketball player. He was fundamentally, he was sound, he was physical, determined, and he was just very aggressive. And he was our leading rebounder that year, and done an excellent job. I just happened to go through one of the scrapbook. I think he scored 39 points against Scottsburg, which was back in their heyday. And we ended up winning at Scottsburg that night because of his effort.
Now, who did you play in the regional?
We played Springs Valley the first game, who we had beaten in the regular season. They were coached by Hall of Famer Jim Jones. And, of course, then we played Jasper in the final game of the regional. They were ranked, I think, 13th in the state that year. They were very big, very aggressive. They had some outstanding kids, and that was another one of our close games that we ended up winning by, I think, 3 points at that time.
And then, where did you? Were those at a certain site, or did you play that? Was that at Jasper, or was that here at Salem?
We played in Huntingburg. It was a regional.
Okay.
That year, and that when I moved to Huntingburg, I had good name recognition because of my experience with these kids, having won the Huntingburg Regional at the Huntingburg Memorial Gym.
Okay.
And so when I moved to Southridge or Huntingburg and Holland, I had a name recognition, and I think it eventually helped me get the head coaching job.
Sure. And then you went on to semi-state after winning at Huntingburg.
Yes, and we got beat, of course, by the Super Hicks. Joe Hinton, they beat us twice that year, beat us in the regular season, beat us very badly in the regular season. We made a better game, of course, in Evansville in the semi-state, but they beat us and ended up in the Final Four.
Is that right? And that, for those that don't know, that's Floyd Central, the Super.
Yes.
Now, what did you do to prepare? I mean, did you prepare to go and play like at the regional or the semi-state any differently than teams do today?
Well, of course, we went and practiced at those places like they do today. We didn't know as much about the teams, of course. We didn't play them. They weren't in our area. I got to give credit to a coach by the name of Jim Mueller, who is now deceased. He coached at Du Bois, which played Jasper in their sectional. And we stayed at the Holiday Inn in Jasper, and he came over to my room that day, and we sat down and went through a scouting report that he had on Jasper, and I was getting ready to play a zone that night against Jasper, and he said, "Gary, you do not want to do that." Not having seen them play before, I thought that might be it. I didn't think we'd be able to match up with them, with our size and compared to them, and one thing and then their quickness. But he said, "Gary, you need to play a man-to-man," and that's what we did. And I think that was a big difference in the ball game. That I got some good advice from a rival coach of Jasper's, and we became long-time friends after I moved to Du Bois County.
So as far as you said some of the games were really close, and in that, as a coach, what are some of the things you say maybe at halftime to get them back and their heads in the game? What, as a coach, what's some things that inspires that you maybe pep talks, or what do you say to your
Well, you got to be excited to a certain extent. You got to be enthusiastic. You got to give credit where credit's due. You got to give criticism when criticism's due, and you just go back out there with a positive attitude. When you play a close game, you know you can compete then with them. So it comes right down to the determination and execution in the final few seconds of a ball game, or a minute or two, and that comes through practicing situations like that, which we did, and in those situations, like I said, I was looking at my scrapbook the other day. We won 5 games, each one of those by 2 to 1 points in that regular season, and that just makes if those flip, you don't have the confidence that you might have, and you don't have the success at the end of the season you might have. So winning those close games give the kids a lot of confidence.
Well, and of course, coaching in Indiana basketball, high school basketball, that's the some say that's the ultimate job that that everybody would love to have.
Well, it was. I mean, I didn't anticipating getting the varsity job at Salem at all. I had no varsity experience, and when Joe Geely asked me to come to Salem from West Washington to be Paul Jolly's assistant football and head track coach, I was around Larry Turpin and around the kids to a certain extent. But I think the superintendent's name was Whipple at that time, and I interviewed for the job, and I guess through Joe Geely's influence, Max Bedwell was there also. I was fortunate enough to get that job, and it was a stepping stone to where I ended up today.
And he was also the athletic director, Mr. Bedwell.
Max Bedwell was the athletic director, and in fact, he was principal and athletic director, I believe, because Joe Geely died, I think in 1970 sometime, and so he was my athletic director and principal, and he was very supportive.
Now, what we're talking about, though, we want to remind everybody, you're going to be having a reunion, which is very exciting, on the 4th of December. And what's that going to mean to you to see everybody and get back and see some familiar faces?
Well, it's going to mean a lot to me. I haven't seen these kids for probably 25 years, many of them, and they mean so much to me in the fact that if we hadn't had that success, and I wasn't fortunate enough to coach these kids, I probably wouldn't end up where I'm ended up today, because I don't know if you knew it today, but today I was selected to be in the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame.
Oh, congratulations. Awesome. Oh, my.
It came out to the press today. So, that was the first step. And then from then on, it just things just kind of fell into place for me, and I was very fortunate, like I said, to be at the right place at the right time.
Well, and are you still coaching or assisting in anybody or helping out?
No, I haven't. I coached for 13 years at Southridge, and then I was out several years, and then they called me back in 2004, and I coached from 2004 to 2010 again, and we won a sectional in 2007. So it was a good return, and but I'm not involved in it. I coached a little junior high ball for them for about 3 years, a few years back also, but not involved anymore.
Awesome. Well, I do want to kind of go over the seniors on the team. We're Bill House, who averaged 15.3 points a game. Ron Mitchell, who averaged 15.5 points per, both of whom earned the All Mid-Southern Conference honors, and Gary Martin, who received the honorable mention in the All Conference team. Also, a team from the class 1971 were Jim Pugh, Larry Perlee, Rick Hinton, Terry Price, and the late Bill Klein.
Yes, if you notice, you mentioned the balance that we had, and with Perlee and House, Mitchell, and Martin was unbelievable. Most games we at least had 3 people in double figures, and some games we had 4. And Larry Perlee done an excellent job. He was our point guard. He had right at maybe 2 turnovers a game, which is excellent for a point guard as much as to handle the ball. Billy House was a good shooting guard. And like I said, Mitchell and Martin were good offensive ball players. They rebounded exceptionally well. And then we rotated Spalding and Pugh at the center position. And Terry Price came off the bench and helped us at the guard position if we got in foul trouble. So it was a good group of kids for a rookie coach to start with.
Well, and what talent you had. I mean, yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, that's awesome for that. And that is a banner year for sure.
Yes, I was, like I said, I was at the right place at the right time.
Now, after you went to the semi-state and got to the semi-state that year, what happened the next year? Did those kids stay around, or did they graduate? Did you graduate several, or what was?
Well, all the starters that you mentioned there, with the exception of Spalding, graduated, and we really struggled the next year. We didn't have the talent. The schedule was still strong. The Mid-Southern Conference was a very strong conference, and it was a tough year. And after that year was over, I decided I wanted to move back closer to home, which was Oakland City, and that's when I ended up at Huntingburg at Southridge High School.
Okay. And you had a lot of success there.
I did. I was very fortunate here again. I was assistant for 5 years at Southridge under Joe Todrank, who is an Indiana Basketball Hall of Famer, and a coach by the name of Allstott was a coach there for 5 years. I was his assistant. He ran a state finals back in early 60s at Rex Mundy High School, which was a Catholic school in Evansville. And then after that 5 years is when I got the job. And my second year, we won my first sectional here at Southridge, and ended up winning 8 sectionals and 2 regionals at Southridge, and 2 semi-states, and up to state finals, 85 and 86.
That's awesome. And it's going to be exciting for you to come, because I do want to remind you the reunion will be Saturday, December the 4th, when Salem opens up its home season against Henryville, and members of the team and coaching staff will be recognized during the halftime of the varsity game. And I'm excited because, Coach, I think you're going to be excited to see how the gym has changed.
I really will be. I haven't been there. Yeah. I can't remember what year it was. They had a game between us and between Salem and Floyd Central several years after the semi-state as a fundraiser for something. And so that's at least been, I'm saying, 25 or more years ago, and that was the last time I've been in the gym. And I didn't know that changed that much, but I also want to mention one other person that I didn't mention. I should. was Ray Opal,
Oh,
was
absolutely.
who was my assistant coach, loyal and dedicated, and done a good job for me. And I know he's had a lot of success and familiarity there in Salem with his being around education for so many years.
Well, he actually was a principal for years with the middle school, and then now he's on the school board. So yeah, he's
But I heard that. So he's been a good staple in that community.
definitely, and that I know he'll be happy, and I know you guys to get to see each other. You'll probably have a lot to catch up on.
Well, I hope I can meet you there too, also,
I'd
Becky.
like to. I would too. I would like that. Well, I'm excited about it, and I think it's going to be a wonderful reunion to bring these players back, and these names, we know these names, and to get recognized and to be honored for the 70-71 regional champions, and that's outstanding, and I can't wait to meet you. I know I've had to see you before in action, I'm sure, but I'm anxious to meet you too.
Okay.
So,
Thank you very much.
Coach Gary Duncan, all right, December the 4th at the halftime of the varsity game. We want everybody to come out and meet you, and I'm sure they'll have a lot of questions too for you.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready to see everybody.
Yeah, you need to go back over all that scrapbook because the people, their looks will have changed.
Well, I'm going to bring the scrapbook with me.
Oh, I love that. There you go.
Kids can look at it, and we can enjoy some memories.
Oh, I love that. That's great. Well, I think that's long overdue. So I'm happy that this is going to take place, and we'll keep reminding everybody to come out. And Coach Gary Duncan, you are a delight, and I can see why you were such a success. And I appreciate you talking with us this morning.
Thank you very much.
Hey, have a good day.
All right, pretty awesome there. Wow. I mean, like the words and the things he had to say, and you think about, when you have like teams that win, but they make it like a little difficult, and I'm sure his pep talks were wonderful. Like
We've heard some good ones over the years.
absolutely.
So,
I'm sure.
well, he sounds like a pretty soft-spoken guy. So
I know. They probably wanted. I mean, with as awesome as he is, you want to. The players probably wanted to do well for him.
Sure.
When you get that coaching, you get that respect, you want to do well. You want to get those wins for him. So this is going to be awesome. December the 4th, be here before we know it.
And a lot of these teams that win big tournaments, win state titles, win national titles, it's lightning in a bottle.
Yeah. So, all right, we are on to the 30th day already of November. Wow. Today is Cities for Life Day, Computer Security Day, Giving Tuesday Day, National Mason Jar Day.
Okay.
I think a lot of people actually drink from mason jars. They've even got lids and everything in it. National Meth Awareness Day, National Moose
I
Day.
think too many people are aware of it.
Yeah. National Personal Space Day.
Yeah.
National Stay Home Because You're Well Day. Okay. So get out and enjoy, all right? For sure. All right. Anyway, yeah, it's exciting. Yeah. All right. They've done some studies here to figure out. Did you say uh-oh? Yeah, hang on. They've done
how those studies go.
I know. And I just don't. I wonder who these researchers are who did this.
And how can we get paid to do what they do?
Oh, they got the ideal job. Some of them. Okay. Well, they were buying a real or fake Christmas tree better for the environment. And that's, of course, just don't look. What do you think? Buying a real or fake Christmas tree
the real
better?
one would be better.
Okay, well, here's the full story.
I've heard you could feed goats with those.
Yes, I've heard that too. Yeah, make a nice little environment for them. What's better for the environment? Buying real Christmas trees every year or fake ones that you use over and over? Well, someone talked to experts. Someone. Yeah, we're not going to say who. Someone. That's so funny. And the answer says it depends. But in general, real trees are probably a little better. Fake trees can cause less of an impact if you use them over and over and over again. A study in 2018 found that 5 years, it starts to even out. But it's not that simple. Real trees also have benefits. Most of the fake trees we buy are from China. So on top of the whole made from plastic thing, they're also shipped over here on boats that use a ton of fossil fuel. They're transferred to trucks that run on gas, and the real trees to buy them are grown by a nearby farm, so you don't have to travel so far. And those farms also create a lot of jobs. Around 15,000 different farms grow Christmas tree in the U.S. and employ over 100,000 people. Growing all the trees does not you are growing all those trees does use up a lot of resources. They take advantage of 7 years. They take an average of 7 years to grow and need a lot of water. But like all trees, they can clean the air while they're growing. So it's not all bad. So it looks like a lot of cities have old Christmas trees now, and they're less likely to end up in landfills. There you go. So exactly did that tell us? That just went around in circles, didn't it?
It tells us that
What did it?
that
What
these
exactly?
studies are sometimes pointless.
I just wondered. I would say that to me didn't. I guess you take whatever you want out of it, right?
Hey, but the next story is extremely
Yes.
good news.
Go ahead.
Oh, it says the radio in our car is still the number one way we listen to music, and I'm going to add on to that sports and weather and news. A new survey found, hopefully not the same guys that did this other survey. A new survey found that radio is still top way Americans listen to music. 54% of adults have listened to music on their car radio in the past 6 months. Only 33% have listened through a service that they pay for. So why would you pay for something you can get for free? This new survey, let's see, 29% listened to a CD in the past 6 months. 27% said they listened to music that they purchased or downloaded. 26% had listened to, music or content on sites like YouTube, and 11% listened to music on vinyl, which vinyl is kind of coming back.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I don't think it ever left.
No, stay here.
Stay right here.
Surrounded by vinyl. The car is just one of the places that we listen to the radio. 27 listen to radio streaming over the internet. You're listening on Facebook or YouTube right now. You're listening to us streaming. You're one of those 27%, and 10% listen to music on a portable radio. And they tried for a few years to get cell phones where you could listen to FM radio, and you might still be able to listen to a few if you have an Android phone. But I think they've taken the FM tuners out of some of those. But some of them still have an FM tuner, and you can just use it directly, or you can download a program called Next Radio, an app, and you can tune WSLM on that. But Apple would not play with the broadcast industry, and there were some other phone manufacturers that wouldn't play. But there for a while, the Samsung phones and other Android phones would let you do that. So anyway. And then 5%, and shame on these people, 1 in 20 didn't listen to any music or anything, any content. So I guess
it's heartbreaking news. All right. Also, if you did the the 12 days of Christmas on the first day of Christmas,
Yep.
It would cost $41,000 to buy all the stuff this right now.
Wow.
$41,000 for the 12 days of Christmas.
I better get saving up.
No, I don't think that would be the. I don't think that would be the way to go. All right, another thing: the average American, which this is, if you're the average American, you do 8 good deeds a month. Okay. Being kind to strangers, recycling, picking up litter in the neighborhood, donating money to charity, giving money to homeless, donating clothing to charity, volunteering, donating food to the food bank or shelter, paying it forward at a shop, and donating blood. So there you go. So that's the average.
You did one of them.
I try to get some of that. That's 8 good deeds a month. I don't know if I hit it every month. If I need to double up a little bit on some of that. Also, in sports tonight, we have
basketball action.
do we ever Florida State will be playing at Purdue men's basketball at 7:30. Salem Lions boys will be at Brownstown, and that will be Jason Petmeyer and Sid Dive, and that'll be at 7:30 on FM 97.9. Eastern Boys Musketeers at Scottsburg, and that'll be Mikey and Wes, and that'll be at 7:30. And IU men's basketball at Syracuse at 7 p.m., 6 p.m. for pregame.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll have the college games. We'll probably pass on due to.
But we will keep the scores.
Yeah, yeah.
Keep everyone informed.
And then Wednesday we have Coach's Corner, and Thursday the ladies play Salem Lady Lions at Paoli, and Eastern hosts Providence, and the Lady Senators host Mitchell. Friday night Eastern boys play West Washington for that big county rivalry. Purdue is hosting Iowa, and then Saturday IU and Nebraska play. The football season's over for IU. They got spanked pretty good by Purdue this past weekend, and they fired their offensive coordinator, and Tom Allen took a pay cut in order to get him moved on. So the Salem boys play Henryville Saturday night, and they'll have this. They'll honor the old team at halftime. And then the Eastern Lady Musketeers play at Brownstown Saturday night. So the girls got one girls team playing on Saturday. So that's what's going on there.
Yay, sports action. Well, I want to thank everyone for tuning in this morning. It was fun talking with Coach Gary Duncan, and he's outstanding. Yeah. And anyway, hope everyone will come out and meet him. And I'm so happy he's bringing that scrapbook. That's going to be, and then I think when he sees the gym, because the gym has changed quite a bit. And I think he'll be excited about that for sure.
Real quick, also, the Washington County Ambulance Board will have a meeting Thursday at 8 o'clock up at the courthouse in the meeting room, and they'll have an executive session immediately following the meeting, but they'll have that meeting at 8 for anybody that would like to attend that.
All right. Well, thank you to our wonderful sponsors. And
yep,
you have
and I do. Walmart, Meadowview Healthcare, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Uplands, Celebrity Home Loans, Skyline Suites, Kentuckiana Cat & Core, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, and Fox Burley Wealth Management. And I bet we're going to hear from them right now.
Absolutely. Everyone, have a wonderful, terrific Tuesday.
Have a wonderful day.
More parents may not be ready for a nursing home, but need a little daily assistance. Skyline Suites is the perfect place for them to call home. Skyline Suites